Don't be fooled. It's not Friday. It's Monday, but yeah, we're going to do a little Q&A this morning since I missed Friday. How are you doing? Welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Bill DeWeese. I'm a professional voiceover talent, voice actor. I've been recording voiceovers professionally since 2006, so 18 years. I've been coaching for the past 15 years. I'm a demo producer. I'm an author. My goodness, what does he not do? There's a lot of things I don't. I don't have time to go into a list of things I don't do, but I have written this book. This is my latest. Get paid using your voice. Get found. Get heard. Get hired. Link below to this, the digital version in the description. Well, guys, thanks for all your well wishes and your kind thoughts this past week. I've been pretty sick. So I came down with, I don't know if it was food poisoning or a stomach flu or last Tuesday. And I thought it'd be a 24-hour thing, so, I was feeling still kinda funky after a day or so, but I tried to get back into it and then realized this is gonna hang around for a while. So I barely ate anything between Tuesday and Friday, um, going into the weekend. And if you know me at all, you know something's desperately wrong with me if I'm not eating 3 meals a day. And, so now I don't feel 100%, but I'm very close. And, this weekend we celebrated Christmas with the family, so I was able to do all that. And then Vicky and I traveled yesterday. We were out of state and then came back later last night. I had to be up about 5 o'clock this morning to prep for a recording session with Volvo, a Swedish agency that represents Volvo, to record a commercial for them. So that's what I was doing early this morning. It's been uh it's been a whirlwind, but it's good to be back with you guys, and hope your holiday season is going very, very well. Hope voiceover is going well for you as well. So what I'm going to do here this morning is this. Instead of our regular motivational Monday, since I wasn't here Friday, we're just gonna do a little flash Q&A. And I don't know that I can take every single question you may have, but I do have a few minutes before I got to get on to the next thing here. So if you've got a question on your mind, just give me a very brief, succinct question. I'll give you a brief, succinct answer to as many of those questions as I can, and then we'll take it from there. How does that sound? And if nothing else, just check in and let me know where you're watching and listening from this morning. Colin, what's going on? In Houston, he says, followed the book. That book made my first demo this weekend. Colin, that is fantastic. Keep it going. Love that. Ethan in Toronto, hello there. It's Paul in Arkansas. Theo, how are you doing? Zach in North Dakota, Fargo specifically. Terry, it's a chilly morning from Fallston, Maryland, 17 degrees. Yeah, I'd say that's chilly, Terry. John, what's going on in Denver? Bob in Wadsworth, Ohio. Kirk, Merry Christmas from Greenville, South Carolina. Cliff in Delaware checking in. Jim, good morning to you in Grable, Indiana. Jason, Kearney, Nebraska. It's Nancy in Yankton, South Dakota. Rick in Minneapolis. Theo says, good morning from the empty streets of downtown Chicago. It's a great day to VO. I imagine a lot of folks are taking the entire week off. So these are the most fun days. When you work like in an office setting, I always love the days leading up to the holidays because things wind down. Nobody wants to start a new project. There's nothing new going on, nothing urgent typically. Once you get a day or two away from Christmas Eve and people just take some time to fellowship, to talk, to drink punch and coffee and eat cookies and all that fun stuff. Of course, it's just me in my booth, but back in my days working around people, I used to really enjoy those times. David, what's going on in Hamilton, Ontario? Serious. Happy Monday to you in Charlotte. Edward says, good morning from frigid New York City. Corey in Whitehall, Wisconsin. Hey, Jay King, how are you doing? Merry Christmas Eve. Yes, it is. It's the eve of Christmas Eve, isn't it? Doug in Greensboro, North Carolina. Russ from the SIP, otherwise known as Mississippi. Good morning, Russ. What's going on, Samuel in Baton Rouge? Hey, Tracy in Rochester, Minnesota. Ron, good morning to you in Grand Haven. To whom shall I email and direct market? Well, who's your target audience? That's your first question. Who are the people? What's the biggest group of people that hire voiceover talent? I'll tell you, it's video producers. Where do you find them? Google search video production. And you will find there's over 43,000 of those companies in the US alone. And you can find them on their websites very, very simply. Celeste, how are you doing? Hope you're feeling well. In bitterly cold Newark, Delaware. Sandra in Dallas, Fort Worth. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that, Sandra. Hey, Joy, everyone. Hey, everyone. She says a cloudy, cold from a cloudy, cold Southfield, Michigan. Hey, Ken, what's going on? Buddy, wishing you and your family an early Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, buddy, and the same to you. Hey, Jim, good morning to you in Memphis. Ken checking in from Woodstock. Troy, Merry Christmas from Pickering, Ontario, Canada. Marla in Texas. John, Rhinebeck, New York. Sandra, Worthington, Ohio. Hey, Sandra, when and how did you get your first national job? I got my first national job. It was like in my first year, a voiceover. I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I think it was a national radio spot. You know what? I can't remember what it was. I should remember that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Yeah, Sandra, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disappoint. You would think that I would remember that particular one, but I do. Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry to say. Uh, Gene in Dallas Fort Worth, Ralph in Fresno, California, Suzette, Merry Christmas to you in Calgary. Hey, Mandy, in 8 degrees of frigid, wow, Chester Springs, PA. Greetings and salutations to all from Northern California. Carmen, good morning to you in Gainesville, Florida. Hey, buddy. Still learning how to interpret any given script, meaning finding the correct emotion to use for an authentic read. Well, here's what I would say. Don't make it any more complicated than it is. You know, when you're living your life, doing your thing, you don't have to think about what emotions you're going to feel. You associate different things with how you feel. Uh, could be whether the person that you're with, the food that you're eating, the whatever the experience is. And you just relate the same thing to a script. Don't overthink it. Just when you see the script, just that whatever intuitively comes to mind is typically the correct answer. Ken, how reasonable an expectation of earning $50,000 first year full part-time? Well, full-time, I would say there should be a reasonably good expectation as long as you're doing all the right stuff and, and doing the work. It's certainly possible. I'm not going to say it would be easy doing it on a part-time basis within the first year, but it's possible. It's possible, but not probable on a part-time basis. I'll put it that way. Becky, how are you doing in Michigan? Sandra, if I bought Mallory's Fiverr training from end of summer, do I need the latest one instead? Is there different information? Well, Sandra, I'm glad you brought that up. It brings up an important thing, which I'll mention in just a moment. But first of all, her initial training, the first training she did was very foundational, setting up your gig. And the most recent one that she just did, several weeks ago, was all the latest latest updates in Fiverr and the things you need to be aware of there. So ideally, getting all of that would be the best. But if you're just starting off and it's very foundational and you don't have a clue what you're doing, the first one would probably be more helpful. If not, then the most recent. But her most recent program is the program on sale today, by the way, on this 12th and final day of the 12 days of Christmas. So that program is available for just $97, regularly $197. It's only $97, and it's only through midnight tonight Pacific time. So definitely a must add to your voiceover training library if you're interested in using Fiverr as one of the spokes of your marketing wheel, one of the income streams of your voiceover business, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. Sandra, thanks for bringing that up. Hey, Jim, what's going on? Let's see. GS Longview, Diane, Highland, Wisconsin. Happy holidays. Thank you. And to you and your family, Diane. See, thank you, Bill. You got me started in the biz. Well, thank you for the kind words and congrats. That's great. Dr. Bob, good morning to you in Clearwater, Florida. It was 41 here yesterday, 51 now. See, now, Bob, now you're just being mean. That's just rubbing it in our face. Those of us who are freezing right now, are you kidding me? Oh, I'll be honest, Bob, I'm a little envious. I'm just a little bit envious. Robert says, glad you're feeling better. Thanks for all you do. From Augusta, Georgia. Thank you, Robert. It's Keith in Renton, Washington. Balmy 47 here. Jim says, did you get voiceover work before audiobooks? I did. Yeah, my first job I got through voices.com. I do remember that one well. It was just an on-hold script, telephone recording. Paid $200, you know, and took me a lot of auditions to get that job, but I got it. And I was so excited. So I did that. I was able to get on with some talent rosters early on. Started booking quite a bit of work that way. I also found a couple of people who produced radio commercials for smaller local markets. Not a lot of money per job, but I ended up doing a very high volume of work for them. So those are some of the things that I did before audiobooks. Trying to find my niche when it comes to narrating audiobooks. Well, naturally, I have a higher priced pitched voice than the average man, and I like my voiceover works for certain. I feel like my voice only works for certain niches. Never try to determine your niche early on. Don't forget, throw it out. Nobody cares what you think. Here's the thing. The audience only cares what they think. The people who listen, they'll make that decision. Don't try to figure that out on your own. Do everything. Do this, do that, do the other. Whether you think it fits you or whether it doesn't, don't overthink it. You and I aren't qualified to make that decision for ourselves. We're not objective enough. Only clients are objective enough to make that decision. And they will tell you by what they hire you for. Ralph, what was your first national TV ad? Oh my gosh, you know what? I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't remember my first national ad. I know I did a series of, these weren't my first, but the ones that I remember the best was a series of national ads that I did for a guy by the name of Kevin Harrington. He was one of the original sharks from Shark Tank, and he has a company that produces all kinds of crazy stuff and then does ads. And I did a lot of stuff for him years ago, earlier on in my career. These ads ran everywhere and for all kinds of different products. And, a lot of them were kind of goofy kind of commercials, but that was one of the more memorable things I remembered. I don't think it was the first, but it was pretty earlier on in my career. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm going to take maybe one or two more. Hard to believe editing with audio tape, razor blade, and Scotch tape. Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem so weird at the time, though. Now it does. You think back, you think, that seems very archaic. But man, I sure enjoyed it. Hey, Rusty, Michigan, good morning. Johnny, good morning to you in Cambridge, UK. Colin, what's going on in Houston? Let's see here. Buddy says, love to have Alex back to do a VO update. He may be filling in on he fills in occasionally on that kind of thing and does some individual consulting and all of that. So you may see him around again at some point. A company is asking me to sign an NDA just to be a part of their voice library with no guarantee work. How do you feel about that? Well, I mean, yeah, I don't see any issue with signing a non-disclosure. Basically, you're just agreeing not to share the stuff that you get from them in the event that you do get stuff. It's not uncommon at all. Okay, guys. Johnny, Samuel, how you doing? Okay, guys. Oh, and if you have any stuff related to the program or any support questions, just address those to training@BillDeWeese.com. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.